Okay, well, good morning. I'm Jodi Shelton, and I'm the president of the Global Semiconductor Alliance, and I'm here with Dr. Avi Katz, who is the president and CEO of GigOptix, and lots of great things happening for your company these days, and it's great to catch up. We're old friends from. Avi says we haven't seen each other for 10 years, but that seems kind of crazy. But
I think it's 2001.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. How time flies. So
yeah, fun for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the markets that you guys are looking at and some of the challenges and so forth. So, what are really the growth drivers that you're anticipating that will fuel your near-term success, and then what are you looking forward to over the course of the next 3 years?
Right. Hey, Jodi, nice meeting you again. It's really 10 years.
Yeah.
So GigOptix is basically the only pure player in the industry today for high-speed electronic devices for the optoelectronic conversion engines. So we are feeding on the success and the growth of the fiber optic infrastructure. As like any other industry, the conversion from copper to fiber started about 30 years ago in the high-end enterprise when people replaced copper underseas with fiber, and the first transatlantic cables were launched, in 1988, 89. So it's almost 30 years now since the development, and 20 years since the first deployment of fiber for very long-haul distances. 10 years later, the fiber made its way into the terrestrial long haul, and then into the metro, and BWDM was the promoter. It went to the metro. As we see it now, copper is being replaced as we speak in the data centers by fiber, and the motivations there are a variety of issues, one of which is better bandwidth, but we are talking about lower power consumption, a green initiative in the data centers, mechanical and weight considerations. And we are now really enjoying, as in GigOptix, this transition. So we push our devices all the way from the very long haul, low volume, high value, if you will, enterprise applications such as submarine cables, into the terrestrial, into the metro, into the very high volume, short range, 300 meters all the way down to 1 meter active cables. I think that the big breakthrough is, like any other previous deployment, is when this technology is moving to the consumer electronics.
Right.
And we are seeing now the first deployments of fiber, not only into the house, but all the way from the wall to the appliances, and in fact within the living room. We have a good projects going now with major consumer electronic players, whereby which they are replacing and looking to replace copper with fiber over the next 5 years as a connecting media between the different applications, all the way from the wall to the display, as well as replacement of copper interconnect with fiber and with other materials as a light wave. So the information transport from the wall to the display will be really pure photonics to photonics, as opposed to go through electronics. So those are the trends that are actually driving our business, and we see a very, very interesting growth over the last 3 years as this transitions take place.
So what specific innovations do you have that kind of sets you guys apart and is protecting your position in the marketplace?
Right, so this is a good platform for a small promo here. So we put GigOptix as a roll-up platform 3 years ago, and we did it as a model that is pretty orthogonal and unique in the industry. We have actually bootstrapped the company with no venture money, and we bootstrapped it from nothing basically 3 years ago into a company that is on a run rate of $30 million this year and profitable. So we are demonstrating a new entrepreneurship approach here, where an entrepreneur can really bootstrap his company without losing control to investors, and really maintain control of his destiny as we move forward. The fundamentals of GigOptix were basically a three-legged stool, if you will, whereby which we put a lot of emphasis in acquiring entities that have very, very unique innovation. We put a lot of emphasis on very tight and professional execution, and we always arrange for the right financial growth engines. So between those three elements, we managed to run a very lean operation with promotion of innovations. I think that a couple elements that are driving GigOptix growth. Number one, from the inception in 2007, in July 2007, we realized that the next generation backhaul interconnects will go very fast into 40 gigabit per second and to 100 gigabit per second.